His name is Lai Wasabi. That's the stage name, of course. He calls himself Lawyer Lai. And the reason why I want to quote from one of his sayings is that he do emphasize something that's kind of important that a lot of people do miss when it comes to opportunities like this. He said, info, la finfo, info, la finfo. For those of us who are not Yorubas, it simply means that you can only fly when you have the wings to fly. And the only wings that you can use in flying is the information you have. And that brings us to the balance that says that information is power. It's not just power, that the physical power is financial power, is educational power, is opportunities. In just put the power in any way you have or you can. The information you have will determine how far you can go. And you wonder why are some people doing little and gaining much, and some people are doing much and gaining little. Yorubas will say, "Òun ṣiṣẹ́ erin, oúnjẹ ìjẹ ìlérí." And what that means is very simple. You are doing the work of an elephant, and you are getting the return of an ant. So it's kind of a sad situation that a lot of um, scientists generally do face. And that is why I want to congratulate every one of us for being in this session. First of all, let me confirm if my slide is moving. Can you see my moving slide? Can you see it moving?
Not moving yet.
Not moving yet?
Yes.
Let me confirm and let me
Yes,
stop.
it's not yet then.
Okay, let me stop sharing.
Moving now.
I want to enlarge it in such a way that I won't have to minimize or do something. I'm coming. Okay. Sometimes it should just go off script and it would affect the quality of the presentation. So you can see it now, right? Is it still moving?
Not
Yes, it's on
moving.
the second slide now.
Okay.
Academic and research lab.
Then it's presently I'm on 4 sectors, countless rules, right? You can see it, right? Please help me confirm more so that it won't affect the quality of our presentation.
I'm not seeing your screen currently, so I don't know if it's my network or
Oh,
something.
no, we have to get this right before we have to get this right. So that okay, let me do this. I will share the entire screen. Hide. Aha. You should see it now.
Exactly.
And you should see it move, right?
Yes.
Good. I think I'm good to go. So let me bring back the energy. My name is Dr. Ashraf Akintola, and it's a pleasure to have every one of us here. And I'm the CEO and founder of Noblekinmat Bioinformatics. And this is another edition in our Bioinformatics webinar series. And today we'll be speaking about something very germane, something very, very important. And it's about remote opportunities in genomics and data science. And this is so because in our last webinar series, last webinar episode, we spoke about how you can benefit from being a bioinformatician and doing remote roles. How do you position yourself? And we gave us key indicators on how to position yourself in such a way that you would be open to opportunities. Now, we have taught you how to fish. We have to take you to the pond or to the river or to the ocean, depending on your capacity to swim. Now, today we'll be talking about remote opportunities in genomics and data science, labs, startups, pharmaceuticals, and AI health. And what we'll be focusing basically are on four different areas. Number one is in the labs. Number two is in the startups. Number three is pharmaceuticals. And number four is AI health. And the reason why we'll be focusing on this is very, very important that we understand that these are the areas in which the opportunities lie majorly. There are other opportunities that you can have as a bioinformatician in different other roles. And in fact, in the packages in our last session, for those who are able to purchase our bio launch package, you would have gone through more than 60 professions that you can do as a bioinformatician. More than 60 professions and about 200 plus disciplines, and it's so so massive. The opportunities are so massive, and today we'll be talking about the other parts where the opportunities are, pointing us directly to where the opportunities are. So thank you everyone for joining us, and I'm so glad you are here with us. So the topic still remain the same, and how to access world class roles from anywhere. One of the things that we used in advertising, in quotes, or encouraging us to go into bioinformatics is the ability to offer roles or go for roles despite the fact that you are somewhere in Africa, you are doing roles in different parts of the world. So, how do we go about that? First of all, we have to understand this particular basic principle. This is something that is big. We want to know, yes, you are just telling us this is the thing that we have, the benefit. Show us what is it that we want to give. Is the market so contrived or so saturated? Would we be able to get something from this particular market? And I'm telling you, yes. 68% of biotech companies now offer remote or hybrid roles. In fact, the skill gap is so low, not just in Africa alone. The skill gap is so low in across the whole world. I have a friend who's also a senior colleague in this space of bioinformatics that is presently in Canada, that does these roles. He changes his roles as if he's changing clothes, and each role is paying more than the previous one. He has come here to give us some of the indication on how to break into the industry. Before we had a webinar, I think very early last year. Yeah, very early last year, on how to break into the industry in bioinformatics, and it's very very insightful. So 68% of biotech companies now offer remote or hybrid roles. So, which makes you and I a very, very ripe candidate for those roles. Number two is that $4.2 billion was raised by remote first biotech companies in 2024. You can Google it and check out the different companies that are focusing on that. And at the same time, 3.2 more increase in remote genomics job postings since 2020. And the reason why this is so, I'm still going to go into that in the next slide. And it is very, very important for us to note that 120 plus countries with researchers hired by US or EU company hired by US or European Union companies. However, presently the US has a kind of um, a kind of restriction for the hiring experts or experts from across the world. And there is this particular popular visa that US offers for high skilled labor. We call it the H1B one, and we have the EB2 or EB1 visa or track. So a lot of people got into the US with those particular qualifications. And it's very important for us to know that right now, because of the ban on some of the countries, especially Nigeria, you might not be able to travel down to US. But what we are talking here is research remote research roles that you can get anywhere from across the world. However, I have to also put this disclaimer that a lot of those remote roles are likely more of hybrid roles. But of course, there will be remote roles, and I will tell you how you're going to get those remote roles because I am a beneficiary and I have also been a beneficiary. I'm going to explain those sentences later on in the presentation. However, there are four sectors you can focus on if you want to work as a bioinformatician remotely from where you are, and you only have to have your skill set, your laptops, and you'll be doing work from the corner of your room across these four sectors. Number one, I rank them also based on their stability. We have the stable, we have the high growth, we have the high pay, and we have the fastest growing sectors. The number one, the stable sector, which I am in. The stable sector, which I am in, so I have to be making those disclaimers. The stable sector that I am presently in is in the academic and research lab sector. And that is where you can earn money in genomics, in data science. And however, because of the stability is there. Of course, we've spoken about this in our previous webinar on the range of salary or the probability of you getting financially free and the like in our previous webinar. If you want to have the recording, you can also have access to that. So in the stable sector, which is in academics, that means you're working in research lab or universities. You can work as a bioinformatician. You can work as a postdoctoral researcher or doctoral researcher or master's researcher. In fact, you can work as a research assistant. A lot of labs employ research assistants, irrespective of your maybe your level of education. But majorly, they always focus on as low as a master's degree. You can work as a research assistant, not even as a PhD student, research assistant in that particular lab. There are certain research funds that make arrangements for that. So you can work as a bioinformatician, as a data scientist, a research software engineer, or genomic analyst. However, in our previous session, someone asked I think someone asked the question about bringing the skill of a data scientist into bioinformatician. Is there a way in which you can have a smooth ride? And yes, and I answered that question that yes, even though there are different domain knowledges you have to have before you say you want to become a bioinformatician, but being a data scientist, you'll be using tools, you'll be familiar with the tools that you also be using as a bioinformatician. Now, the second sector is in the high growth sector, and this is in the biotech startups. A lot of biotech startups are coming up every now and then. And one of the things that they need is the computational biologist. And an example of that in Nigeria, I'm using Nigeria especially because those are the areas in which some of our students are presently based. In Nigeria, there is what we call this 54 Gene. There is a company called 54 Gene. 54 Gene is one of the foremost company that is a biotech startup across Africa, not just in Nigeria, across Africa, and they are doing excellently well. Even though 54 Gene has they have their issues and they have changed. The founder has already started a new company, but yes, that 54 Gene was an high opener on opportunities that you can have as a biotech startup. You can be a machine learning engineer, you can be a pipeline developer, you can be a platform scientist. So the opportunities are bad. It is high growth, and people are already having biotech startups across Africa as well and across the globe. In across the globe also. There is this third sector which is the high pay. And the reason why it is high pay is because it's dealing with the diseases, it's dealing with human beings. And the interventions that they make is very, very important to the world in general. And that is the pharmaceuticals. In fact, after the COVID-19 vaccine, you will see that the stock of pharmaceuticals companies are jumping, is growing astronomically. AstraZeneca, name it, all those from a big names in the pharma sector, pharmaceutical sector. You will see that they have high need for high skilled individuals. And the reason why this is very, very important is because they offer top salary, They offer a very good benefit and their scope is global. And then we have the last stage, which is the fastest growing. And this is why it is very, very important for us to be careful or very we should move with the tide of the world. Because presently bioinformatics is something that it is fast evolving. And when something is fast evolving, it means that if you snooze, you lose. If you snooze, you lose. That's the case of bioinformatics. If you snooze, you lose. So, and in this case, we have AI health companies. And I'm going to show us examples of them in the coming slides. Different examples of AI health companies. And what they need mostly, they need artificial intelligence or machine learning specialists. They need NLP health analysts. They need digital biomarker engineer. They need health AI engineer. If you check the bio launch package that we sent, I also indicated a lot of roles in the AI sector that you can join as a bioinformatician. Now, let's take it one after the other as it is our responsibility, as is our culture. And one thing that we pride ourselves is that we wouldn't say something that will not give evidence for that because we are teaching you, we've teaching you how to fish, we are taking you to the pond. The first one is the academic and research lab. Let me, before away from this slide, I made mention of the fact that yes, I am also presently in the stable sector, which is in the academic and research lab. I am presently a postdoctoral researcher at Kempuk National University, and my work is majorly on bioinformatics. And I have a stable salary. I have a contract that extend. I have it's a long contract. I'm financially taken well, like I'm well taken care of by what I'm earning. And a lot of people, what they are looking for is stability. Really, not everybody wants to become the next Dangote or Femi Otedola. They need stability. They just want to be able to put food on their table, take care of their families, be fine, have good health, and ride just average car. They don't need something fancy. They just need something to get by on. And I can tell you for a fact that the only place that offers that is in the academic or research labs. As long as you have a project, every field has its own pros and cons. We've discussed that in our previous session. So I'm presently in the academic and research lab. I'm a postdoc, so I know what it takes to be a bioinformatician. I know the benefits that it has, and one of the benefits that it has is that this is one of the benefits of being in the research lab because you are constantly working on the latest development and you know what's in vogue, you know what's obtainable, you know what works for what, and you know which way to go when things go wrong. However, what do they want from you as a researcher? There are some skills you have to have. And as I said earlier on, bioinformatics is a very big field that you only have to choose a section that you are going to focus on and be good at. However, generally they focus on pipeline development because one thing is very, very key. It is your research should be reproducible. That means as you are doing it in South Korea, you should be able to send that same data to someone in Kafanchan or someone in Bangladesh and send the code to that person that you use in working, and that person should be able to replicate what you've been able to do and get the same result, if not exactly same result. That is what pipeline development does for you. And the two popular tools to use in doing that is SnakeMake and Nextflow. If you are an expert in SnakeMake and Nextflow, you are good to go. And another reason why I said that is that I once did a postdoctoral research interview for one of the popular research institutes in Nigeria, this ACEGID, um, led by Professor Professor Happy. So I once uh, had sat in an interview for a postdoctoral role, and one of the questions that they asked me was that do I know how to use SnakeMake and Nextflow? So just to show you how important it is, even though I do not need the I um like the question was something I have expected that okay they're going to ask. I knew that this is something that is obtainable globally. You should be able to work on SnakeMake or Nextflow and use it in your analysis. Number two is your NGS data analysis skill. Can you do analysis for on the next generation sequencing tools? Can you work with that? So, irrespective of the NGS, it can be RNA-seq, it can be genomics, it can be what have you. Can you work with next generation sequencing data analysis? Number three is that statistical genomics or genome-wide association studies. This is a particular field that is popular in Africa, and you have to be have an expertise in that, at least no matter how little it is. Cloud computing, of course, that one is an advanced level of bioinformatics capability. So then we have Python and R. Can you write code in Python? Can you write code in R? What is your comfort zone with version control? So in this particular slide, I've given you examples of companies that are presently hiring globally, global companies that are hiring. You can check the website, the links I've also attached the links. You have Broad Institute, Welcome Sanga Institute, EMBL, EBI, NIH, NCI. Noblekinmat also hiring. Noblekinmat. We are also hiring bioinformatician. Just for you to know that this skill gap is so large that we do not have enough people to fill the gap. So you can exploit that opportunity, and I am very, very sure you'll be better for it. So the next one is the biotech startups. The biotech startup. Now, I made mention of some startups that are currently growing and that they are using AI. And here we have made mention of six biotech startups: Recursion Pharma, Insitro, Veritas Genetics, Sia Bio, Tempus AI, and Haitian. You see this Veritas Genetics. One thing about them is that they are the first, one of the earliest companies that say that you can sequence your own genome for less than $1,000. They are located. All of these companies are located in the US. And another example of how when we say something is fast growing, they are fast growing because they are addressing a particular need. Tempus, okay, I think it is Tempus AI, also precision oncology. The founder made it, started the company because of his wife that had a cancer disease, and because of some of the challenges that they passed through, he saw that yes, I do not want my any other person to pass through what we have passed through. Let us have this startup. So all the startups, you can Google them: Recursion Pharma, Insitro, Veritas Genetics, Sia Bio, Tempus AI, Asian. So all these companies, they are also actively seeking or looking for someone to fill in the roles. So remote first culture, equity upside, and work that ships fast. And that's one of the benefits of working with this biotech startups. Number three is the big farmers. I need not to stress much on this. For someone who is not a novice in bioinformatics, would have heard of or seen or worked with something that is related to all these top big pharmaceutical companies. We have Roche or Genentech, we have Novartis, we have AstraZeneca, we have Illumina, we have GSK, we have Pfizer. All these companies, they made a lot of billions of dollars in during the COVID-19 incident, because they were able to come up with a vaccine. And one of the skills in which they were able to use in coming up with a vaccine is through immunoinformatics, which is a branch of bioinformatics. So that's how applicable and widely required this particular skill is. And here we have the salary ranges of people that are working across in US, that is in US dollars. So the highest as we have is $200,000, as you can see here. So for someone, for roles that are bioinformatics, as a bioinformatician and the like. So you can earn that much as a remote worker, and that's interesting. However, I have to say this too, not in order not to um in the quest of motivating you, I'll now say the right thing that I'm supposed to say. Most, if not 100% of all these companies, they only hire people that are already in the country they want to hire from. And this means that you have to be in the US or UK or whatever the company is. And then you can now work remotely. However, there's a silver lining also. They can, you can, is this it deals with how connected you are. You can work remotely for someone who is also working in these companies. But you just have to be at another crazy level of expertise. So, but it's not something that is impossible. So, this is for big pharma. For AI health companies, these are the areas in which they are presently focusing on. I would like to talk on the microbiome AI. For those who know the microbiome, these are the gut microbiome are communities of microorganisms that makes up a human being. And why do I say that? There is this popular saying that, okay, listen to your gut, listen to your gut. There is a connection between your gut and your brain, at least your stomach and your brain. And it is now recorded or discovered that in anyone, like your gut microbiome, your gut bacteria or fungi or what have you in your stomach, they show you who you are more than your DNA. And what does this mean? It means that we can identify an individual simply by their gut microbiome, the community of bacteria inside their stomach or in their body. So that's how important gut microbiome is. And it's very important for us to also focus on that area. So, but there are different areas in which AI health companies are working on. And however, there are some skills that open all the four doors for you. And it is important for us to discuss that. We have the foundational skills, we have the genomics core, we have the data science skills, we have the cloud and scale, and we have the emerging edge. And I can tell you that for free that if you can become a guru in all these areas, in fact, you are set for life. You are set for life financially. You are set for life because you would always be in demand. You would always be in demand. So that's how important it is. So you can start from the foundation, which is the Python, R, or Linux, or Bash, Git, or GitHub level. When you move on to the genomics core, you move on to the data science, you move on to the cloud and scale, and you move on to where. So you do not need to all start all these 5 tiers at once. You can start with a foundation, and I will recommend Linux and R. Linux and R. Start with that foundation, pick a genomic core. Let's say you want to start working on RNA-seq. Just pick Linux and R, and you'll be using Linux and R for RNA-seq data. If you are very good in that, you can now move on to the data science part of it, which is the machine learning part of your work. So from there, you move on to SnakeMake or Nextflow, Docker, or Amazon Web Services, Azure, and the likes. So these are areas in which you can focus on. I'm giving you the secret to making it big in this particular field. So in our last session, I told you how to build up your LinkedIn portfolio on your GitHub portfolio. So it is very important for you to do that if you are really serious about what you want to do. I have been a beneficiary of this because of my LinkedIn page. People reached out to me. Oh, we love what you are doing. Can you do this for us? And I collected my money and I cleaned my mouth. And I did the work and I delivered. So that's how easy you can get roles if you position yourself the right way. And we've given you the right framework for you to execute what you intend to do. And this is where you can find remote genomics job. Here we have 8 different platforms. 8 different platforms where you can find remote bioinformatic roles. You don't need to go to the big pharma. You don't need to go to the academics. You don't need to position yourself in all these 8 places, and then you will get role. You have to be consistent, show the people that this is what the value you bring and this is your offer, and then you're good to go. But first you have to empower yourself with the right skill. We have the general, which is the LinkedIn. We have the specialist, which is the bioinformatics or CA, which is a Canada-based platform that they give out roles on bioinformatics. You have the academic roles, and that's when you go for nature careers. You have the Upwork, which is the freelance. You have remote only. We have where we have we work remotely.com. We have some communities where they post jobs. We have life science community. We have biospace.com. We have social where we have GitHub or Twitter or Facebook. These are places in which you can position yourself and get remote roles. And here is the salary landscape for those who are working in the bioinformatics field. And you can see that this is not a small field that you can ignore. So if you are just leaving the food money on the table, so this is a very very big industry, and as I mentioned, at least at least if you are that good, you'll be earning a salary of $150,000 while you are based in Nigeria or Kenya or Ghana or Tanzania or Burundi or Gadogu or Ivory Coast or Tema in Ghana, what anywhere. You can be in the even under the bunker. As long as you can do all those things, you are good to go. However, I'm giving you a 90-day remote career launch plan, and you should follow all the steps. And then I can guarantee you that after 90 days, at least you have 1, 2, 3 interviews that will qualify you for the roles. So I hope this has been very helpful. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to reach out to me either on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp or on email. Or you can visit our website www.noblekinmat.com. And if you are interested in exploring the bio launch, how you can start your career journey, how you can explore it, what are the basics you need to know, the job offer in the market, the career prospects you have, a lot of them. We have the bio launch. In our last webinar, we released it for 5,000 naira. You have different step by step guides. It's a lot. You have a 30-day bioinformatics course whereby you have to go through 30 days, 1, 2, 3, 30 days. And this is a platform for you to explore. It's going on for 5,000 naira, which is approximately like $5. If you have not joined, I am kind of confident that a lot of people in this webinar they have already joined on that course, and of course, sooner we'll be exploring the progress of all those that have joined the cohorts. Then, so I hope this has been very helpful to you. Thank you so much for joining, and have a nice day. If you have any question, please don't hesitate. Thank you for having me.
Oh, beautiful. Awesome. Thank you so much for the session.
You're
That's
welcome.
great, knowing about different platforms. And I feel like even for as many people that might be thinking of jackpotting, this might
Yes,
serve as an opportunity.
exactly.
So wherever you find yourself, you know that you have something that you can do, even if it is not primarily wet lab completely. Even as a dry lab scientist, you can still work. So we have questions. Um, yes, somebody is raising their hand. You can unmute yourself and ask your question. Yes, thank you. Mr. Salahu, please go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I don't know the period where Dr. Ashraf is in their own country there, but from Nigeria here, we are already in the afternoon. Good afternoon once again, Doctor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for this wonderful, insightful presentation. Just like I used to say, I love listening to your presentation as it always gives me an insight always. And there was another information that was posted to on this Noblekinmat community WhatsApp concerning this galaxy. I don't understand that galaxy very well. So I don't know if you can shed more light on this galaxy.
Thank you so much for the question. Yes, we have a galaxy training for African. This is a separate program that's called Africa Bioinformatics School, and it's a 60-day program specifically designed for African students use or researchers using African data and using Galaxy Africa for all the analysis. And the reason why Galaxy Africa for the analysis is the right way to go is because you can do all this bioinformatics analysis on your phone, and you don't need to install anything on your system. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on, as long as you have access to 3G network and you have your phone or your laptop. Of course, we will encourage you to use your laptop because you would have the best experience doing that. So it is designed for that, using non-installable, no installation at all, and you'll be running analysis on this particular different analysis. All the analysis that we spoke about, you do this, you do everything is on Galaxy. Galaxy is an online platform and it's dedicated for that. So we have that program. It's a 60-day program that was designed. That is designed. It's going to start by June 1st and it's going to end in the next 60 days after that. So if you have not joined, please do join. Secondly, we also posted a free Galaxy training organized by the creators of Galaxy themselves. And it's a primer for you. And even though we're having a separate Galaxy program designed for African students, we're even encouraging you go for the free session. Have a taste of what you will be missing if you do not join. And it's even not by us, by the creators of the Galaxy themselves. So those are the two programs. If you have not joined the community, please do. I think uh, uh, operation manager is already posting the link to the group chat. You can check the group chat, and I'm very sure you would find that very, very insightful. I hope I answered your
All right,
question,
thank you,
sir.
sir. All right, so Mr. or Dr.
Yes,
Muhyiddin,
you have
Dr.
answered it,
Muhyiddin,
sir.
you can
Thank
go
you
ahead.
very much, sir.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
It, it,
I think some
it's
people still have questions. If you have any question, please unmute yourself and ask.
Dr. Muhyiddin,
it's
please go ahead.
yeah, it's Mr. Muhyiddin. You said Dr. Muhyiddin, not yet.
All
I
right.
I I will say I don't really have a question, but maybe a comment and a compliment. I have been following Noblekinmat's programs for quite a while, I think, and may God bless Dr. Ashraf. I think I first joined your programs, I think, somewhere in 2021 when I was preparing for my PhD. I joined one of your pre-webinars, and now I'm in my fourth year of my PhD, and somehow, bioinformatics got me in my PhD. So if you are in life sciences and just if you have the time now, please just take anything that has to do with bioinformatics. Somehow it's going to catch up with you. So
Yeah.
I joined my lab and I was asked, okay, you are the one to do our analysis, and now I am doing some RNA-seq methylation analysis. So it's just to advise some other people here that if you have
Mm.
the time, please do take courses, do learn, because sometimes you have the things, you have the internet, but you don't have the time. Uh,
Yeah.
Probably, I think last year I bought your genomics course. I think the population genomics, but
Yes.
uh, to my surprise, the 1 year ended, I didn't finish the course. But it's not like I don't know anything. I know it because I have been doing stuff, but just no time to even go through the videos. But it's
Yeah.
so just if you have the time now for people here that haven't picked anything, just please use your free time and learn as much as you can. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. You are going to come and teach us how to do methylation or DNA methylation. You have no choice.
No problem.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Mr. Samson, you can go ahead.
No, no, no. I think Dr. Chukuyem Abejega wants to.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I've enrolled for the course starting in June.
In June. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because
why I recognize your name.
okay. That, I have some data with me. I'm working on metagenomic analysis of some mpox
Yes.
negative samples. I'm trying to look at other causes or differential diagnosis of mpox vis-a-vis
Hmm.
for samples in Nigeria that were negative for both mpox and vis-a-vis. And I'm new to all this. I'm a medical doctor by practice, but my PhD got me into the lab,
Wow.
and there's now need for me to do some mental dynamic analysis. So I hope to follow through the course and
Yes.
see. But what we used for the analysis was the NextSec 2000, and actually not it's in the Illumina platform. And although we're trying to get directly the piping, but my supervisors have said that I must show competence in the analysis of those samples,
Analysis. Yes.
not just that wet lab was done, then someone else did the metagenomic analysis for me, but I must show
Mm.
my competence and
Yes.
be able
Yes.
to defend it. And I hope to use I have it in my hard drive
Hmm.
and use it as promised during training,
Hmm.
to use as a training guide
Yes.
that will
Yes.
finally result to republications of my data.
Yes.
I wish to have more time with you, but
Yes. Thank you so
the
much.
one you told about the galaxy, I don't have that link, but I'd very love to attend that
Okay.
meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, we've shared it prior to your joining the community.
Okay.
So I will reshare it again. We'll reshare it again.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Then, secondly, I'm glad you joined because you are having a you are very dangerous, in the in the sense that you are a double-edged sword, because you are doing you are a medical doctor, so you see the practical manifestation of what it is that you are doing in the lab. And one of the things that a lot of doctors in Nigeria are lacking is this skill, analytical skill. And it's there was a time I was arguing with a lot of some of my colleagues about the importance of or the influence of the microbiome on children, especially in the pediatric science, in the sense that children that were born through a cesarean section and the children that were born through vaginal delivery, they have different microbiome compositions. And because of that, naturally, God has designed it in such a way that those that are born through the normal birth canal, they came in contact with some microbiome that will be useful for them till eternity, that will be useful for them till they die. Unlike those that are born through cesarean section, whereby the microbiome on the skin of the mother is what will first colonize their body, and that might not necessarily be good for them in the long run. But of course, their immunity can be compared to each other. So we were having an argument, and those that are in the medical field were able to corroborate what I said to a certain extent. I am coming from a research background, so I might not, yes, I have the data, but I might not be say categorically this is what is happening in the hospital in the field. So that's why it's good for you to like. That's why I said you are very dangerous in in quotes. So then, secondly, one of the ways in which you can quickly learn bioinformatics quickly is when you have a target, something that is chasing you. for you to come into that field. Bioinformatics is very wide. Is very wide. Nobody, if anybody comes out tomorrow and say yes, I know everything about bioinformatics, one of the easiest way to know such a person is a liar. That's what that statement. One of the easiest person ways to know if someone is a liar, if someone comes out tomorrow and say I'm an expert in bioinformatics, the question will be which area of bioinformatics, everything, and that person is a liar. Because for one particular analysis, you can have more than 100 tools, especially if it's, for example, if it's you want to do sequence alignment, you have like 5, 7 tools I can count for you for sequence alignment alone. And they are doing the same thing, even though they might be slightly different. We have BioEdit, Cluster W, Cluster X, MAFT, we have a Muscle, we have a Tea Coffee. I've counted 6, like easily, and they are doing the same thing. So if someone else says, I have, no, 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 no. So one of the ways in which you can learn bioinformatics is you have a data that you want to get information from, then your focus will be very narrow, and then you'll be able to explore deeply all the focus that you have. So you want to do. So I hope and I'm confident that your foray into bioinformatics will be much more beneficial to you, and also make you stand out among your other doctor colleagues. So thank you so much for having faith in us.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Also, the comment on LinkedIn is very important because even this role I am doing now at Oxford was from
Wow.
LinkedIn. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And I saw your advert too to join this program from LinkedIn.
From LinkedIn, imagine. And that's what we are talking about in positioning. If I have kept silent now, doctor will not locate me. All these things I'm teaching my students now. I hope you guys are seeing that the manifestation is true. If it were to be a lie, now that's how they will say, this thing that you are saying is lie. So thank you so much for speaking out and corroborating and what we've been preaching for a long time. So thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Any other question?
Yes, we have Mr.
I think
Sanusi.
Mr. Sanusi Bilal Olamileko has been raising his hand. Mr. Sanusi, over to you, sir. Sorry, Dr. Sanusi. By default, everybody here is doctor, automatically. Doctor. Dr. Sanusi, over to you.
Still I'm on my bandwidth. So
Good
my
afternoon.
question is that sorry, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, now I can hear you now.
So my own question is that I'm still an undergraduate here. So and I'm
Good.
studying biochemistry. So I'm thinking of going into bioinformatics as an additional skill. So if you can just give me like an advice on how to navigate it from beginner to maybe intermediate and advanced stage. So I will be very happy.
Okay. That's a very good question, and it's peculiar to that a lot of undergraduate students ask that. One good thing about that is you are starting very, very early. And when you start early, it will assist you in your journey, especially when you know what you are doing and what you want to achieve with bioinformatics. So, as a biochemist, there are a lot of things that you can do. Let me, sorry, there's an echo from your side, so I'll mute you. So, as a biochemist, there are a lot of things that you can do in the area of bioinformatics. I don't know which discipline you want to go deeper to in biochemistry, but the core of bioinformatics is also biochemistry. And the reason is very, very simple. DNA is a chemical substance, is a chemical combination. You have this sugar, blah, blah, blah. And then there are biological substance. There are biological components, molecule as well. So, which makes you in the prime position to claim bioinformatics than any other person. In fact, the first people that discovered the structure of bioinformatics DNA, Watson and Crick, their core subjects are biochemists. they are biochemists. So the opportunities are endless. And okay, let me just pick an area. You can focus on drug discovery as a biochemist, and this is an area I see a lot of biochemists focusing on drug discovery. And it's very simple because drug discovery does a lot about structure, and the structure. I know biochemists do a lot of structural blah blah blah. So they focus more on structure. However, you can also focus on uh, apart from drug discovery, locating phytochemicals, active biochemicals in a particular drug discovery. For example, in the case of artemether and lumefantrine for the cure for malaria, I know the person that's discovered the artemether. I think he had a biochemistry background. So she looked for the active bio ingredient inside that particular leaf. I've forgotten the name of that leaf. So, and then here we have with the cure to malaria. We've had cure, but they have their own side. But artemether and lumefantrine seems to be the most potent so far, even though we have a vaccine for malaria now. So, but those are areas you can pursue. You can also pursue vaccine immunoinformatics or vaccine development and the likes. So these are areas that you can pursue. It depends on your goal that you want to focus on. So if you now align that goal with what you want to achieve with bioinformatics, it will accelerate your journey so far. I use myself as an example. I graduated from zoology. I said I wanted to do medicine initially. I got zoology, and I said, okay, what can I do with zoology that aligns with medicine? I said, okay, let me do something on medical entomology. And what type of entomology? Not agric entomology. I'm going to do medical entomology. And medical entomology, what insect am I going to focus on? I focus on mosquitoes. And what type of mosquito? Vector mosquitoes. And that's how I broke it down. And I'm presently working on mosquitoes. So this is how you break it down and then you discover your path. So I know this might be a tip of the iceberg, but I've given you a clue in how to break it down and then get your focus well aligned in bioinformatics. So I hope I answered your question. So any other question? So we have 3 more minutes to the end of the webinar. And if you have any other question, I'm very much available. I think the group link has been posted. If it has not been posted, we would post it
Good
through
evening.
the. Good evening, ma.
Um, I heard about this bioinformatics from my lecturer. I'm also an undergraduate of zoology. So I wanted to ask,
Wow.
since you said you are also a graduate of zoology, that
Yes.
about the entomology aspect that aligns with medicine. I said, what aspects did you can you decide on taking entomology? I said vector mosquitoes. Is there any other area that relates to entomology or any other areas that I use bioinformatics for? Because my first um first instance of bioinformatics. I mean the introductory aspect.
Okay. That's a good question. I only picked the part of bioinformatics and impact in zoology on zoology. Now, um, okay, let me even use my own example as another example to answer your question. I've said I picked vector mosquitoes, and I'm working on mosquitoes. I'm working on three mosquitoes basically: Aedes, Anopheles, and Culex. Now, there are different aspects that I can focus on in all these, even these Aedes, Anopheles, or Culex. I can focus on the genetic diversity of Aedes, Anopheles, Culex across Nigeria. And I will work, publish, and I will still be exhausted. And I will not exhaust all these publications. That's one area. I can work on the population genetics of all these mosquitoes. That's another area of bioinformatics. That's number two. I can focus on the microbiome of these mosquitoes. That's number three. In fact, I am focusing on the genomics and the microbiome part of mosquitoes. Another aspect, I can focus on the mitogenome of these mosquitoes. So there are many areas that you can focus on. And that's even just one aspect of bioinformatics, right? That's even just one aspect of bioinformatics. Now, another aspect of bioinformatics that people do work on is the pest control. You can work on pest control. And I have a colleague that did work on that, on pest control. And in fact, during my first proposal for my first master's degree in Mina, I wanted to work on pest control and the physiological impact of all this insecticide on this particular insect. I'm still focusing on vector. I'm still focusing on entomology. I've not even moved out of entomology. I've not even moved out of medical entomology. I've not even moved out of one part of medical entomology. So this it depends on how creative you want to be. And for those who have gone through the books that the book I mentioned in the bio launcher, you would have seen the exhaustive list that you can explore in terms of bioinformatics and what you want can do with it, irrespective of your discipline. Even if you are a lawyer, you can come into bioinformatics and specialize in DNA law or family law, and it's the opportunities are endless. I wouldn't say that bioinformatics is the answer to everything. That's I won't be a salesperson in that in that area. Yeah, of course I'm going to admonish and encourage, but I won't tell you what is not obtainable. But these are obtainable facts that you can do in and bioinformatics. In fact, my present project that I won last month, and it's a very big project. When the announcement comes, all of you guys would also know, because it's a very big one for me. It's a big one for my career as well. And what I did was very creative, and God assisted me in coming up with that topic. The topic is the impact of climate change. It's kind of very funny that how can someone relate climate change with bioinformatics? It's kind of climate change bioinformatics. How did he correlate? So I said the impact of climate. The reason why I chose that topic is because climate change is very topical right now. And one of the things in which you can sell yourself is to work with the challenges that people are facing. When you are solving big problems, big money will come to you. When you are solving big problems, big money will come to you. I mentioned that in our last webinar episode. The rate at which is the scale of your problem you are solving is the scale in which you will get the reward. If you are solving small problems, small reward; big problem, big reward. So climate change is a very big issue, and it's kind of very touchy subject. And I said the impact of climate change on the evolution and the phylogenomics of mosquito vectors in Northeast Asia. And I advanced the topic in such a way that I'm saying that now we are having insects that we are not seeing before in Asia because of the climate change, and that is dangerous for infectious diseases. And anytime you are mentioning that, right now there is this particular pandemic. No, it's not pandemic. God forbid, it's not going to be a pandemic. Is
Better not be.
so we don't God.
Coronavirus, right?
Yes, antivirus. So I pray God it doesn't become a pandemic. So antivirus, people just rats, being a vector of a particular virus, and everybody is scared now. So there is this fear, perpetual fear of transboundary, like something that was not known before in a particular area now coming into that area. So there is this very particular. In fact, the highest number of cases of malaria in South Korea, because South Korea has recorded a zero malaria free. A lot of countries have recorded zero malaria incidents in their places. So one of the highest causes of malaria in South Korea is imported malaria. People are traveling, they will go for vacation, they will come back and they will start displaying the symptoms of malaria. In fact, one of the worst sickness that you can have in South Korea is for you to have malaria. You are most likely to die because they don't have the intervention, the medical interventions to address that sickness. So it's the sickness of we black Africans. So Africans, you got malaria, just give me paracetamol and multi. So that's a big problem, especially in these countries that they are very scared of having diseases that they are not previously known. Zika virus is there, dengue virus is there. So I just coined that topic, and God was merciful. I had this project. This project would offer me $100,000 every year. $100,000 every year for 5 good years to conduct research on my topic. Like, that's why I don't want to make mouth too much when I was doing the academic stuff. So it's not yet for the announcement, but because of this question I'm answering, that's why I'm giving that indication. So it is very, very important for us to understand that the opportunities are just so immense, so immense, and it depends on how much you explore them. And that you get a lot of reward. And the reason why I'm saying this is because in Africa we are still far behind. If you focus, if you say you are not going to do NGS just yet, that you are focusing on Sanger sequence, I'm telling you for free that you just be eating like wama jemu lalo. Yorùbá will say wama jemu lalo. You be chopping from different areas. If you are a Sanger sequencing expert, that you can work on Sanger because the opportunities are just immense. Yes, the resources are limited, but yes, if you specialize and position yourself in such a way that you can do that, probably I have to charge people to teach them how to do that. Maybe we have to organize a class on that, because all these things that I'm saying, people might not realize how important or how painful it is that you are not exploring it to the fullest. And once you do that, it's an opportunity for you to keep on. You be a collaborator to big brands, big companies across, because people are looking for people in Africa that have that expertise, that they don't need to be traveling back and forth, traveling back. Me, for example, now, one of the things that I want to do is that all the mentees that I've trained, I'm going to train them in the project that I'm about to do. And then I have a lot of things on my hand right now. I have a lot of things to focus on my hand right now. I don't want it to be that I'm training people and they are not doing. I'm still laboring. I'm supposed to just give, okay, so please, I need 110 sequences analyzed tomorrow. Can you do it? Yes, okay, you can do it. I share it 50-50. That's what I want to be doing now. So, but people are not getting it. They are not getting. And the funny thing is that you will be paid for all those roles. Ah, time has gone. So we'll be speaking more when we have another webinars. So thank you so much for joining. And it's a pleasure to be here. The link to the community has been posted. Thank you so much, Miss Precious. So the bio launch is also there. You can buy your own. Presently, I have set the presently I've set the price back to the original price of 52,000 naira. But for the next 24 hours, I'm going to change the price back to 5,000 that we sold it for those that attended the webinar last webinar. So thank you so much for being a part. It's a pleasure to have every one of us, and see you on the next one. This session is recorded. If you need any recording, it will also be shared with us this time around. So thank you so much and have a nice day. The link, the presentation slide will also be shared to us too. So thank you so much and have a nice day, and see you on the next one.
Thank
Okay.
you. Bye.
Bye.